never been a better opening. if I can make you if I can make you bend away and laugh like that, that's a perfect opening. If everybody could have seen that,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the April 1st edition of Geek Spot News. That's Jack over there. I'm Frank with the Hulkamania headband on, bandana, whatever the hell it's called. Little tease for WrestleMania. And tonight is the night where we talk about all of the stuff that I have caught up on April 1st.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. By the way, for anybody that is wondering what we were discussing earlier, it's well, we'll get there.
Yeah,
Um
let's how is
we'll leave that where it is for a minute, I
what's up with
suppose.
you?
Busy, man. A lot of stuff with the kids keep running and doing stuff nonstop. The last weekend I had a handful of gigs. We had the Easter going on. The
The
kids
Easter.
were on spring break. I was running around traveling, and there was a lot. My mom's birthday was last week,
Happy birthday.
so we had that. Which reminds me, I wanted to share our video, and I didn't make it there because I was busy laughing.
Oh shit.
Um,
I forgot to
so yeah, we did a lot of that. I watched some stuff. The Walking Dead finale was last night for the new series, which we'll talk about in a bit. Keeps getting it maintained its level where I was talking about it and how great it's been.
excellent.
Spoilers there that it is still just as good as it has been all season. So I appreciated that. Watched some other shows. There's some new stuff that came out. Not didn't make it to the movie still, so still a little behind on some stuff, but all in doing good. My kid tonight, one of them, I know where at least one or two of them is. Uh, One sleeping over there, so we might have a visitor sometime during this. The other one is his jazz band played before the Flyers game tonight.
Nice.
So yeah, he got the Wings game last week. He got the Flyers game this week.
That's awesome, actually.
The one that's still here is why my fingernails are painted these lovely shade. And if I get a little closer, you can see some nice eye glitter and all sorts of stuff going on.
Mhm.
But yeah, so he's at the Flyers game, which brought us to the conversation of you saying the Flyers had a new goalie.
He's huge. Very
Got it.
tall.
He is. He's bigger than a baby's arm.
He is. He's actually 6'8". And when he stood in the press conference next to the 5'6" Danny Briere, there's a
Oh,
noticeable difference. When he stands in the net, it looks like he's not standing in a regulation size net. It's like the top of the crossbar comes up to like his stomach.
I mean, yeah, Danny Briere is tiny though. I have stood next to Danny
Yes.
Briere before.
Frank might be low because Frank was talking low. Thank you, Dom. Hi, Dom. Hi, Charles. How are you guys? Um, you sound like you've had a busy, busy week.
That was just a normal week. I'd love to say it was super busy, but no.
Jeez.
This week I'm back local. You will not be there.
Unfortunately, no.
You have well, what have you been up to? What's coming up for you?
Um, so obviously with the Hulkamania bandana that I never, ever, ever wear, this is the week of WrestleMania, and my weekend, as I said at the top of the show, I caught up on everything, and I am fully up to date on the Bad Batch, on Invincible, on all the Avatar animated series, and April Fools. I didn't watch a damn thing this weekend at all. Nothing. Not one thing. Not even a rewatch thing.
Okay.
Um, I just played video games all weekend. I kind of vegged out and I avoided people. I peopled too much the weekend before, and I'm going to people too much in this weekend coming up. Um, this is WrestleMania week. Kicks off tonight at the Barclays Center in New York, where the New York Yankees had a wonderful opening weekend, as uh, Dom will mention. If you like the Yankees and you want to hear the Yankees games, Dom does streams play-by-play of the Yankees on his channel, The Ace Avenue. Um, I watched the Phillies drop 2 games against the Braves that were completely winnable, and they finally squeaked one out last night. And they start a series with Cincinnati tonight. Yes, Dom. I know they got lucky. As my friend JJ it was railing about in the chat, in our text chat. Um, it's game 3 of 162. We're okay. It's all right. As far as the rest of this week, I have a podcast I'm going to watch on Wednesday night, Sam Roberts at Helium with JJ. Friday all day is the Fan Expo. Pat McAfee show is broadcasted live from the convention center.
Wow.
Yeah, he's going to have Cody Rhodes, Triple H, and I saw Rhea Ripley. So I'm absolutely staying around to watch that.
I don't know what any of those words you just said mean.
Would if you saw pictures, you would just go, "Oh, okay, I know who that is." Saturday night is WrestleMania Night 1, where we're going to get together somewhere and watch that while you perform close to my house. And I unfortunately can't make it out to see you this week. But I will when you come back around local again the next time.
Sounds like a false promise, but
It's
I'll take it for
it's
now.
a real promise. It's not like I'm going to watch a show promise. It's an actual real promise.
Yeah, I'll take it for now. I did watch
Sunday,
the Phillies all weekend too. I forgot that I watched the Phillies all weekend.
yeah, I mean, look, I'm glad baseball is back. It was just a really rough weekend to watch baseball if you're a Phillies fan.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah. Look. Luckily, the bullpen can only get better.
Rated the best bullpen in baseball somehow. Do not know how that happened. Sunday
Look,
night
they
is
only had a 52 ERA after the first game.
that can come down. I Sunday night I am going to the Lincoln Financial Field to watch WrestleMania 2 live. I plan on putting a video out, and I'm not going to do it live. I'm just going to record it, probably with JJ. We're going to give our WrestleMania picks, and I'll throw it up on the channel. That will actually be our first official video that isn't a Lego piece that I still haven't posted. So we're going to sit down and we're going to go through the card, and we're going to make our picks for WrestleMania. And then we'll throw it up on the channel. And then Monday, I'm going to Raw, so we won't be doing a show live Monday night next week. You have stuff coming up too, right?
I'm gonna be out starting Tuesday next week
Okay.
for a week. So, but then I'll be back that Monday.
Yeah.
So you can you and the peeps that go to the thing can talk about the stuff.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll do that. Oh boy. Other than that, this is just a tease of what I'll do for Sunday WrestleMania. Though I'm not sure. It's going to be 38 degrees when the when the bell rings for the first match on Sunday night, so it's going to be a little cold.
That sounds a little cold.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. Sun goes down at 7:30. The show starts at probably 6 for the pre-show and then 7 for the main stuff.
Okay.
So I know you're going to be watching on Peacock.
Sure. I'm sure that I will be watching. I mean, I might as well. It is local, and there's no more Walking Dead.
It is.
I did leave out, and I don't know if she heard last week, but it was also my mom's birthday last week. So happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday. Do you want to, why don't you start off with the Walking Dead stuff since I just rambled for 5 minutes?
Yeah, so we got the last episode of The Ones Who Live, which if you've been keeping up, it is this continuation of the story of Rick and Michonne, who they brought together on the regular show, I guess around season 7, 6, 7. They started making those two a couple, like teasing at it, and then they brought them in as a couple. They did a time jump, right before they got rid of Rick, and or maybe they got rid of Rick and then they did the time jump. I think that was it, and then they've been apart all this time. They end up finding each other through the course of this show, and they realize this CRM, which is the Civic Republic military, has some bad seeds in it. And the cool part is you realize the last 2 episodes of this that they have been telling this story since season 1 of The Walking Dead. And
Oh,
all of
really?
these little hints for this story that they're tying in now, they started dropping in 15, 16 years ago in the original storyline. And they're tying back to like, at the end of spoilers for season 1 of The Walking Dead. At the end when Atlanta gets bombed. Because they're getting rid of all of the metropolitan areas. Because that's where all the zombies are, centralized, is because that's where most people were, right? So, this group was the one that was performing those bombings. And it was the military, and then they took over spots from the military, but, like, they tie back to all these things that they've introduced all through the show, and there was a bunch of flashbacks in this one that kinda tied back to the storylines and drew parallels and all sorts of really good writing, which goes back to, you can tell whatever story you want as long as the writing's good, I'm
Right.
there. We need to stop using background as a vehicle for storytelling in, all these, different platforms that we watch and talk about every week because all of them keep doing it, and then occasionally one will actually have a compelling storyline. You're like, "Oh, this feels different. Like, it's actually well done. This is great." Um, but so in this episode, you got the 2 of them, and it's been 5 episodes, up leading up to this where, like, you were sure, "Are they gonna get back? Are they gonna be back to where they used to be?" And they're such great actors that they
Mhm.
can pull anything they want off, and they're fully invested in the material, it seems like, too, so it's even better. Um, and the last episode was fantastic, start to finish. The way that it wrapped up at the very end, tied up their storylines from, like I said, the last 15 years with Rick, and, like, I'm not sitting here going, "Oh, I can't wait to see what's next." Like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't need a second season, I don't need a sequel, I don't need more stories about these characters, I'm content with where they left them off,
So that
and I
means they're
hope
gonna
they
do
do.
another one then.
Well, this one was supposed to be 3 movies to tie up their storyline.
Right.
Instead, they got 3 6 two-hour episodes, which is essentially 3 two-hour movies.
Gotcha.
So, I think they're good. There's still a season 2 of Dead City coming with Maggie and Negan. There's still a season 2 of Daryl Dixon coming, which Daryl Dixon already looks like it's gonna actually start to really pick up in season 2, so I'm excited for that.
That's good.
But even the spinoff they did a few years ago that I talked a few times that was Beyond the Walking Dead, I think is what it was called, or Walking
Yep.
Dead World Beyond.
Yeah.
Um, that was all setting up this show on the
Oh,
DL and, like, didn't even let you know, but, like, all of the things that were happening in that show were being set up by the characters in this one.
that's pretty cool.
So it's really neat that they've, like I said, 15 years of storytelling, and they've been planting seeds to tell the story they told in this show over
Oh,
the last 6 episodes.
Marvel, pay attention.
No kidding, man. Like,
Please, for your TV stuff.
for all
Um,
of it.
that sounds pretty cool. Um, so we have there were two big losses, and I say big because they really are two big losses in the entertainment industry. Louis Gossett Jr., who honestly, and I'm not saying this to be funny, I actually thought he had already passed away. Passed away. Um, I'm sorry, people can barely hear me. What did I do?
Oh, you touched something.
I probably did. Hopefully, that's a little bit better. Louis Gossett Jr. passed away. Um, he was 83. I thought he was older, and I thought he had already passed away.
Let's talk about we did the math for this right away. So how old was he in Iron Eagle when he played the old grizzled veteran Chappie?
So you did the math. That was. Did you know he was he was in an episode of The Partridge Family, dude?
I mean, he
I'm
was
going back through his IMDb. I'm actually prepared for once. Um, he started acting in the 57. He was on the Jeffersons.
he was on the Jeffersons, not a surprise. I mean, look,
No,
um,
hang on. Let me see.
yeah, so he was in his mid 40s when Iron Eagle came out. So the grizzled old veteran he was 48, I believe. So he was a little older than me.
Right.
Yeah, you're much better volume wise now.
There you go.
Little older than me.
Sorry about that.
Not quite. So you could be Chappie in the remake of Iron
I
Eagle that you're going to
so
have to do now. Is what I'm getting out of this.
I'm getting to Chappie, but I'm blown away. He was in an episode of The Jeffersons. He was in an episode of The $6 Million Man. He was in an episode of Little House on the Prairie. He was in Roots, right?
Yeah.
The Rockford Files.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going up through stuff that I remember, and and then his big, his big movie was Officer and a Gentleman. That's where he won the um, Best Supporting Actor Academy Award with Richard Gere.
Yeah.
And that was 82, and then he did star in a couple of movies. He was in Jaws 3D.
Okay.
Yeah. Enemy Mine was a big movie, and then he starred in what was probably one of my favorite movies of the '80s. This movie even rivaled Over the Top for me. Iron
Wow.
Eagle as Colonel Charles Chappie Sinclair. If you have never seen Iron Eagle, if you're of an age that is well past the 1986 Iron Eagle movie, um, go and watch it. It doesn't hold up, but it's so fun. Um,
What do you mean it doesn't hold up?
oh, come on. A group of kids that he steals an F-16 to go rescue his dad in Iran. It just okay, it holds up. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, it's
Um,
everything about it's great.
he actually starred in the sequel King Cobra, Iron Eagle, Never Say Die.
Okay, well, look, they didn't all hold up great.
No, they didn't. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Iron Eagle 2 was the sequel. That he was in that. And then again, he was in a ton of movies. I think he was in Iron Eagle 3. Oh,
Oh,
good
dear
for us.
God.
Eh, dude, I'm
Wait, they
scrolling
made
up
an Iron Eagle 3?
apparently.
Alright, well, look,
Um,
he needed to check. Well, Enemy Mine, by the way, with him and Dennis Quaid,
supposed to be great, wasn't it?
it
I
is
didn't see it.
phenomenal. It was one of those movies that I watched. I feel like it was on HBO back in the '80s. It ended up,
Probably. Yeah.
streaming. If
Yep.
it was back in the '80s, everything was just on. If it made it to HBO, it felt like it was streaming,
Right. Right.
for you.
It's
But
a different time.
yeah, but that show or that movie was incredible from start to finish and really just sucked you in. And he, Louis Goss Jr., is in full makeup as an alien the entire movie.
Right.
It's the concept of that. It was Dennis Quaid was a space traveler that got in a battle with another alien. They both got trapped and they're both dying. And what do they do? And it's the two of them. And then you watch the two of them develop this bond. And it's all about overcoming,
I think I did see that.
you
It was
know, derision preconceived notions of people and all those kinds of things. And it's pretty great as a movie.
if I had to pick a second favorite movie that runs close to Iron Eagle for me with him, it was Digstown. Did you ever watch Digstown?
I did with James Woods.
James Woods, Honey Roy Palmer, the
Yeah, I don't know
boxer.
if you can still you're still allowed to watch that with James Woods because I feel like
Ah,
he may have been canceled 17 or 18 times since then.
oh god, there was an Iron Eagle in 1995 called Iron Eagle on the Attack where he played Chappie Sinclair. Jesus.
Wait, which one?
It's called Iron Eagle Attack. It was in 1995. He played Chappie
All
Sinclair.
right, well, look,
Come
look.
on. He just um it's safe to say he was in a ton of stuff and he acted let's just see the last thing. He was in an episode of Family Guy, dude.
Yeah, look,
Uh, um the last thing we have him credited as he was in 200 things is um it's called Kingdom Business as a TV series. He's in 2 episodes back in 2022, 2023.
okay.
So, um he was in the TV series Watchmen?
Oh yeah, he was fantastic in Watchmen.
Yeah.
He
So
played the grandfather
okay.
in the
That's on my
current
list.
times, and then you get the flashbacks to who he was when he was younger,
So
when he was a hangman.
that's the one that was only 1 season, right? And they like quit while they were ahead.
Yeah, he was like, I don't have more story, Damon Lindelof. He's like, I'm good.
That's good.
They were like,
That's
"Make a second season." He's like, "No, I'm good."
'cause two more things I'm gonna say he was in and move on to the next thing. He was in Psych. He was in an episode of Psych in 2012.
I mean, to be fair, if you were like me and a massive fan of Psych,
Yep.
everybody was in an episode of Psych.
And he was in an episode of Boardwalk Empire. Another
Not a
sensational show.
surprise. I think he always had a good relationship with Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
where he would jump in on a lot of those. Um, yeah,
And
I mean, he made a lot of. He was a guest actor once he did his run in the '80s. He just popped into a bunch of stuff.
yeah,
Was kind of his thing, which
a huge, huge, huge loss. Even though he hasn't really acted in the last year or two. But the other, the other, the other loss was Chance Perdomo.
yeah, kind of
27
the
years
other end. Yeah, 27.
He was Andre in Gen V. He was in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. He was in a motorcycle accident and he passed away. They were just getting started on season 2 of Gen V, and they obviously halted um, they halted everything on that, and they kind of pushed the pause on that indefinitely. Which, I mean, I can understand. It makes a lot of sense. Um, he was so good in. I didn't watch Sabrina, but he was so good in Gen V. Um, I don't even I don't even know how they would move forward, whether they would just recast or kind of write him out of the show. But he was pretty central to that plot.
Yeah, I wonder if he is. I wonder if they reference them in season 4 of The Boys or 5, whatever season we're 4.
Four, I think.
So I wonder if he's in that some. Look, it's a horrible thing. Um,
Yeah.
especially at so young of an age and just starting out his career, really. But it's a little. It's only been a few days, so it's a little too early to say recast or not
Oh
recast.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I think we've already started to see with some of this content stuff, like and it's speaking of that, we have The Crow coming out, right? Like that was recast halfway through filming. They had a body double shoot the rest of Brandon Lee's scenes.
Well, that
Um,
turned out all right.
I mean the first one,
That's what I
not next to nine, not the nine since then.
no.
Um,
Yeah.
including this new one that's going to be an absolute disaster whenever
Ah,
that makes it through. So,
yeah.
but yeah, he was great on Gen V. I'd looked forward to seeing a lot of him over the next couple decades. So it's a shame that he passed so soon.
Yeah. Um, into the we don't have a ton tonight. So, Dune 2 passed 600 million at the box office. It's the number one release of the year so far. Um, I still haven't seen the first one.
No, you were gonna watch that getting ready for Dune 2, remember? And then you were
I
gonna
am
go out,
I
yeah.
actually plan to do that. We'll see where I land after this week of wrestling stuff, and I can kind of get back into watching or not watching shows as as I go along.
Mhm. Yep, yep.
But that's good for that. And um, Godzilla X Kong. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of positive stuff from people.
Are you?
Yeah, believe it or not, a lot of people that are seeing it are saying it's a fun movie. Um,
I've heard that it's fun. Like, it's a
well,
horrible movie from what I
it's a
understand.
fun movie.
But,
It
like, look,
it's
it's Godzilla and Kong fighting another Kong, I think, from what I understand. So,
something
like,
something.
cool.
Um, it's got it's gonna hit 80 million at the box office. Um, it was initially projected to hit 50 to 55, so that's good. It's the second best opening weekend for the MonsterVerse.
I mean, they
Um,
can't be that cheap to make, can they?
I can't imagine that they're cheap to make at all.
I
Um,
mean, though, to be fair, they're not paying talent. So,
there's that.
it's just CGI work. So maybe it is cheaper than we thought because they already have the renderings of the body types, right?
Right.
They
And
spent all the money on Kong Island. They cast a bunch of celebrities,
right. King
and
Kong
they
has
made their
the
money back on
King
Skull
Kong.
Island.
He's got the super Iron Man fist now.
Yeah. So and then they're like, all right, well, we got the models are done. All we got to do is rinse and repeat.
Um, I I I'm not interested in the MonsterVerse personally.
I need time, which is something I just do not have to go.
Yeah.
Maybe when I'm away, I will go through and binge the monster movies on
There you
my
go.
iPad.
There you go. Star Trek 4, which has been in what they call development hell, has another new screenwriter for the final chapter of this crew after an 8-year hiatus. We'll see what happens if, this script
Oh, I
gets
saw an
pushed.
article today about that. It said instead of Star Trek 4, they're just gonna go straight to Star Trek 5. They think
I,
there's a better chance of getting Star Trek 5 made with the original cast,
at this point, yeah,
with Chris Pine and everybody coming
yeah.
back,
At this,
instead of making Star Trek 4. So I think that's what they're gonna do. They're just gonna skip right past it and
um,
remake Undiscovered Country.
here's something.
Was that 5 or 6? Was that close?
Undiscovered Country was
Yeah.
6
Oh, damn it.
because
But
5. So wait,
was 5 the whales?
3, 4 was. Wait,
Oh, I
hold
am
on.
so
Nah,
disappointed in you right now.
I'm pretty sure 4 was the whales.
I
4 is
mean,
the
there's
Voyage Home.
only been 9 movies since then. I don't know why
So
you can't keep
it's
track of
the
all of them.
motion picture, which was awful. Wrath of Khan, which is the best one they ever made. Then
Mhm.
Search for Spock is 3.
Yep.
4 is, and I'm not looking this up. I didn't finish googling. 4 is the Voyage Home with the whales. 5 is the one that William Shatner directed that he said is one of his biggest regrets ever, and one of ours. 6 is The Undiscovered Country with Christopher Plummer as the Klingon quoting Shakespeare the whole time, which was amazing because he just quoted Shakespeare the whole movie. Um, and then there was one more where they go search for God.
5 was The Final Frontier.
Yes, The Final Frontier was awful.
Well, the next one with all of them was Generations, right?
Well, they did 2 more, and then Generations was,
Oh, they
um
did a 7? It's not even listed. I didn't know they did a 7.
did they do a
I
7?
don't think they did. I think Undiscovered Country, and then they did Generations and Nemesis.
Yeah, that's it.
And
That's
then
it.
we got the new ones.
Yes, then we have the new ones. Um, did you know that the BBC is going bankrupt?
Well, I mean,
They're
I know
cutting
that they are
funds.
publicly funded.
Yeah, so they're cutting funds big time. So they've been cutting funds ahead of the UK government's decision on licensing fees. So, do you know where Doctor Who's going?
Well, I mean, the new season is owned by Disney.
Correct. They struck a deal with the BBC to ensure the future of Doctor Who will now go to Disney and be shown on Disney Plus.
Well, right. Well, that's been in the works though, because
Yeah,
the specials all aired on Disney Plus. The problem is the historic library.
is with BBC,
Well,
right?
yes, all the episodes are with BBC, but other than that, if you wanted to stream it in the US, because the only spot to stream it is on BritBox.
Ah, okay.
For the classic episodes now. The rest of them, I think you can buy on Amazon or you can think they're on
Whew.
Netflix still. It's where
So
the most recent run has been streaming to. So
this is
like,
season 14, right? Is
wait, is it Netflix? Is it no,
this
it's on Peacock or HBO Max. HBO Max has them. That's
okay.
right. HBO Max has the newer ones the last 15, 20 years. But yeah, it's messy trying to watch Doctor Who in its entirety because there's all sorts of issues with streaming rights for it.
Yeah, it's for a show that's been on that long, and you're going back to the 60s with that, really?
Yeah, we
Um,
just had the 60th anniversary.
yeah, Jesus. Um, so it's what's this say? Currently, the UK Conservative government is deciding whether the TV license fee, which helps fund the BBC's television, radio, online, and educational outputs, will be scrapped ahead of the expiration of the current Royal Charter Agreement in 2027. Corporation has seen funding cuts leading to the closure of several channels and a pivot to digital first methodology. Sorry. Um,
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's I mean, and there's only BBC and BBC Two, I believe. There might be a couple other ones over there, but
Saturn
that's
one,
huh?
no, is Saturn one, Saturn
Saturn's
TV.
an award show, and
No, there's a TV
um,
network that begins with an S. Sky One. That's the one I'm thinking of. Sky One.
got it. But yeah, I mean, the BBC stuff's all it's like our PBS, except for it's like good with a ton of great shows, ton of great actors. There's constantly new content, but they're all shorter seasons. Like they're not like us where we feel this need to do 22 episodes and just filler. It's more concise storytelling, better actors come to it.
We could
Much better work there with that stuff, but it's all publicly funded, so it's all been
we could get a
uh
show on the PBS here.
yeah, so if you are a fan of Doctor Who, you can tell the difference between the ones once they moved and got that Disney money.
Yeah.
Before all the older ones where it was like shoestring and bubblegum holding together the Dalek.
Yes.
So I'm sure the first one we see on Disney will be a Henson creation.
There won't be any plungers. They have plungers as arms.
Yes.
Yes. See, I know shit. I know stuff. Um, the Thundercats is still getting a movie.
Yeah, yeah, and not an animated movie.
Yeah. So the director reveals that his vision for the reboot movie will look to remain as accurate as possible to the beloved 80s cartoon. If that's true, are we going to get naked Thundercats like at the beginning of the cartoon?
It's gonna be like Cats, the movie. That's already their biggest hurdle to overcome, is how do you get not have comparisons to Cats the movie? And what do you
Dir-
do with the buttholes? Because that was a problem
Director,
with Cats the movie, they had to go back in and edit them all
oof.
out.
So the production for the movie remains uncertain at this time. The director's name is Adam Wingard. Vows that the movie will honor the 80s classic featuring iconic designs and a faithful story. There will be challenges ahead with the CGI for humanoid animal hybrids, requiring a careful balance between realism and cartoon homage.
Yeah, I will tell you there was a bubble cartoon style series they did recently that I didn't watch. The one before that, when they rebooted it about,
Mhm.
like, 10 years ago, was fantastic, but it only got, like, a season.
I
And
s-
it was so strong and, like, well animated, well written, and they're like, "Nah, we're good. We don't need
I
to keep going with this."
saw a YouTube video of um, a live action fan made version that was nothing short of outstanding.
Really?
It's worth a find. Yeah, it's worth a find. Um, you're talking about bringing a 1985 cartoon into live action is not the the fact that they're half lion, cat, half humans is really hard to do. I would think
Well, it's they literally look like the characters in the movie Cats.
they do.
So it's gonna be but it's I
Only
would
one with a head.
buy them with that CGI and the work that was done in the movie Cats more than anybody in the movie Cats.
Yeah. Only there's a magic sword in this one, so that's good.
Well, yeah, with
Um,
the Eye of Thundera, yeah.
do you remember? I love to bring up stories about the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movies.
Yeah.
Number 3 is confirmed.
Is this the Monsterverse? The
Yes,
Poohverse?
well, no, this is the Disney weird, like weird verse that's not Disney. The horror reimaginings. So the first film had a small, crappy budget. The second film got a really bigger budget. The third film's getting an even bigger budget.
Oh,
And the budget increase, and they're going to bring in new characters.
okay.
They're going to bring in Rabbit.
Got it.
I lost where the other ones were.
Kanga,
Here it is.
Roo.
Rabbit,
Yep.
the Heffalumps, and the
Oh.
Woozles.
Oh, okay. I
So
still have not watched any of them, so I don't know how many characters they've already introduced.
I'm not a big fan of horror. I don't like it. It's not my wheelhouse. I may have to go watch these. I really like I may have to go watch these.
Yeah.
I told you
I
I
still have
felt
to trick you into watching, I forget what it was last week that you said you never saw that I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna figure out how to get you to watch that."
I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Um
It'll come to me.
I did I was on YouTube yesterday. I was looking up something for one of the games I play for Destiny. And I fell down a rabbit hole. I fell down an emotional rabbit hole for like 45 minutes of watching clips of the last episode of Lost
Oh, you told me about this.
where they all remember each other, where they touch each other and they have these flashes and they remember who they all are. I'm telling you, dude, I sat there choked up like a baby. It punched me in the gut in a way, and I'm like, wow, I really want to go back and watch this. And then I paused for a second, and I went, but it's such an effed up show with no direction at one point that I don't think I could do that to myself. I think once I would get to a certain part, I would be like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, like halfway through season 2, was it?
I could probably make it through to where they started doing the flash sideways, the things that they
Oh, yeah,
did,
yeah, yeah.
where they were like in the real world as other people. Like
Yeah,
that, I could probably make it to that.
got it. That was season 4, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I wasn't sure if you'd make it past Nikki and Paulo is where I was at.
I would skip that episode because it's absolutely pointless, and I love the fact that even the creators were like, "Yeah, we don't know what the hell we were doing."
They were like, they kept telling us to make more episodes. We didn't know what to do.
Yeah. Um, in the Marvel world, there's a story that came out. I sent you this. Um, about a huge recasting that Marvel's doing. So uh, Marvel is actually, we probably should have led with this. This is that big. Um, Marvel is recasting Spider-Man. Tom Holland is unhappy with the creative direction that Spider-Man is going after the last movie. Um, so Sony wants to recast him, and where was it? Um, hold on. Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios wanted a buddy cop movie with Peter Parker and Sydney Sweeney's Julia Carpenter jumping universes to hunt down Jared Leto's Morbius, which that sounds like a good movie. I'd watch
Does
that.
it?
Yeah.
Does it?
Marvel hasn't made any official casting announcement as to who will play Spider-Man following Tom Holland's departure, but they're eyeing a number of actors for the role, um, including but not limited to Timothy Chalamet, Asa Butterfield, and Zac Efron. However, it seems Sony is planning to take the role in a different direction. The same rumor suggests the studio is looking at Bad Bunny to replace Tom Holland in the MCU. The actor was originally slated to play El Muerto, but immediately became interested in playing Peter Parker upon hearing that Tom Holland is no longer involved with the MCU.
I mean, look, El Muerto was great. Not El Muerto. Bad Bunny was great in Bullet Train for like the
I,
75 seconds he was on the screen.
he was great in WWE
Oh, did
he
he?
wrestled. He
Did he?
wrestled.
Oh,
Yeah, he wrestled.
well,
He's got skill.
we all make mistakes.
The source for this news story is the April Fool's News. So that is our one
That's
and
that's fair.
only that is our one and only April Fool's joke. I hate April Fools. Looking for stories today was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah,
I
because
hate,
you were like, "Oh, this actually came out yesterday," but did it?
I hate April Fools.
Because right now, I and everybody that loves Kevin Smith is hating Kevin Smith.
For the dogma thing,
Yeah,
I saw the picture of that.
I'm so angry that I saw that and was like, "Oh my god!" And then nope.
No, no re-release. He
Uh,
still doesn't own the rights to that,
so
right?
anybody that doesn't know, with Dogma, it was released on DVD by Miramax, who owns the distribution rights to the movie because they had the theatrical release and the DVD run, and has never been aired in streaming, and all of the TV rights have expired. So there is no way, unless you have physical media in your hand, to see Dogma. And if you do, it's only on like a deep, not even a Blu-ray, DVD.
No. Yeah, old school
Um,
DVD.
so there's been talks for years about where does it sit, who's getting it, is there a way for Kevin Smith to get the rights back? Like, and apparently the answer has always been no. And then today he posted coming in 2024 Dogma Remastered, which would be amazing because it is by far my favorite Kevin Smith movie.
I really like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and I really, really like. Oh, it was Dogma. Yeah. No. Dogma's like they're one
I
two
mean,
like one A
the
one B.
the fact that they got Alan Rickman to play Metatron
Yeah. Yeah.
is complete. Like that grade of actor in that movie is insane to me.
They're like a one A one B for me for his movies, and
Yeah, it's that and Chasing Amy for me.
Chasing Amy gets long and too dialogue-y after the first like funny bit
Well, it's
with the whole
90s trench coat angsty. It's
yeah
yeah.
yeah with the whole comic panel thing was phenomenal.
Oh, and Pete's a Clerks 2 fan.
Yeah, Pete likes Kevin Smith. Pete likes his stuff.
I think I've only seen Clerks 2. I own it, but I think I've only seen it like maybe once out of
Wait,
it's the one I've seen the least out of all of them.
is Clerks 2 to 1 in movies?
Yes.
Oh, I love that one too. That's a 1C for me.
Mm.
And you know what? It might be more of this like some of the scenes from it are are good. Like the scene with Wanda Sykes is
Yeah, I'm
hilarious
gonna have to
under
revisit that one because I don't think I lived with that one as much as I did all the other ones because I think that came out after I was
yeah.
I didn't have time to rewatch things 1,000 times like I did the first handful of Kevin Smith movies.
That was also the first one with Elias.
Yes.
And so the scene with Wanda Sykes that I can't repeat any of is great. And the whole trilogy where he talking about the trilogy thing is just phenomenal. Where Randall explains how there's only one trilogy and it's not Lord of the Rings. and then he describes the 3 Lord of the Rings movies where he's just walking in place, and then how he describes the end of the Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the outtakes of that movie are also are also great.
All right. Well, now I'm gonna have to go rewatch Clerks 2.
And let's do a Clerks 2 rewatch. I'm in. I also have to take this off. This is gonna suck to wear on Sunday because that's just oof. All right. The last 2 little things I have is 2 things from DC. James Gunn debunked the rumor of Two-Face being cast in Batman Part 2. The rumor was Boyd Holbrook was being cast as Two-Face.
Okay.
Okay, he debunked that. He blames, again, sites for false info and clickbait. And the other thing is he has said that their process for putting movies out is because there's no cast for the Authority live action movie yet. He said, we're going to wait until we have a good script in hand before we move to the next phase and cast and do anything like that. And I think that's a smart approach. I think you're going to take a lot longer to make stuff, which again isn't that bad because that means you're going to make less.
Mm,
Um, it's good and bad if you're writing the movie and then casting around and not like picking a guy like, say, you're pick Henry Cavill out and say, okay, he's my Superman. Let's write Superman around him.
Look, I don't mind if you put out more content as long as it doesn't suck.
That's what he's, according
Um,
to him, quality over quantity is
yeah,
what
I
he's
did
trying to say.
see, and it was released like 18 hours ago, like right around 6 o'clock tonight. So could have been
Mhm.
yesterday or today that Batman 2 may be split into 2 parts, but I think that could have been on the April's Fool side. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I was like, that wouldn't surprise me.
no, it's really, really, really hard to pull stories because of all of the junk that's out there
Yeah,
for
speaking
April
of
Fool's
DC,
stuff.
before you get to your last DC point, did you ever play the DC Universe Online game?
I did a little bit. I was gonna mention a video game.
It
Go ahead.
just dropped on PS5.
Oh, okay.
Fully upgraded, fully updated,
Ah,
for the refresh rates and the frame rate and everything for the PS5 game, because you could currently play it on PS5, but it was the PS4 emulator.
yep.
And uh, I was a big fan of that for a while. I really dug into it because you didn't have to pay and you could actually do a
Right.
lot of stuff.
Yep. I remember.
Um, so I mean, but last time I went to try and play it, I think it was on PS4 and it was so slow. I was like, no, I can't do this because they hadn't updated everything yet. So I'm intrigued to see it on PS5. It's like hit 20 years now, I think that game, or maybe
Oh, shit.
10.
Okay.
It started on PS3,
Right.
which PS3 came out a really long time ago.
The other DC game that's out there.
Oh yeah, a little Kill the Justice League, Suicide Squad.
Yeah, they just released the Joker um
Turned
stuff.
turned everything around for him, right?
It's worse.
Game's a bona fide hit. Oh, it got worse.
Worse. So much worse from what I've been reading. There's a guy that writes for Forbes magazine. His name's Paul Tassi. He does a lot of Destiny content videos and inside reporting and stuff like that. Um, has been railing on this game for forever. Now,
Mm,
Marvel is putting out a new game that's going to have 14 characters to start, and it's basically Overwatch but with Marvel characters.
no. What is that? I haven't even heard about that.
What?
That game.
I don't know if it's not like it's kind of newer. Um,
Oh, in the announcement. So like we got like years. Got it.
um, wait.
I mean, we got the story tease for Black Panther for 1943. I mean, last year.
Yes. So it's called Marvel Rivals. It's a free Overwatch-like PvP shooter.
Oh, and it's not a mobile game, huh? Because they've been
Not.
killing it with Contest of Champions and
Uh,
whatever the other one has been.
yeah, it was announced on March 27th, so we're probably a little ways away unless it's been in the works for quite a while.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a long time before we get that.
Okay, last thing. I just found this. This is awesome. I haven't looked at it, so I love a little list. I'm a
You do.
huge fan of a little list. Casting 2023's 10 highest paid actors in the MCU. This should be fun.
Oh,
This should be a quick, fun
They're
one.
not already in the how are they not already oh, because they didn't release any movies. Got it.
Right. Number 10, Denzel Washington can be an older Kang variant. He earned 24 million in 2023. Yes or no?
No, he should be Blue
Okay.
Marvel.
Okay. We'll make these quick. Um, let's go to the next one. Nope, it's still him, and still him, and still him, and still him.
They're all Denzel Washington?
Oh, I have to scroll down, not left to right. Number 9, Ben Affleck can redeem his Daredevil tenure. He earned 38 million in 2023.
Who do they have him as?
They have him as Daredevil.
No. I would look, if you go long term, I think brilliant casting in another 5 or 10 years in the MCU will be Ben Affleck as Kingpin.
Okay.
Like, I wish that Ben Affleck was Kingpin in Marvel.
Okay.
Because how
See that?
awesome would that twist from him playing Daredevil to then, as he
Yeah,
got older, transition to Kingpin? You can get a solid 15 years out of Ben in
probably.
Kingpin. Vincent
Probably.
D'Onofrio, a few years older, he's got to be pushing 70.
Yeah, because I don't think his Duncan music career is going to take off.
Uh,
Number 8, Leonardo DiCaprio's acting ability is fit for Norman Osborn. He earned 41 million in 2023.
I'll take him.
I don't hate it. No, I don't hate it at all. I give that a yes. I give
Yeah,
that a
his
thumbs
Green Goblin. I mean, let him go
yeah.
totally over the top. I mean, he would bring it. He would just try and be Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. Number 7, Jason Statham.
Okay.
His action chops suit Joey Chapman's Union Jack. He earned 41 million.
Maybe, but we already got a hint at who they're gonna do with the Union Jack stuff with Olivia Colman
Yeah.
and
But
whatever
I don't
show that was that
hate it,
nobody wants
hate
to
it.
talk about. Secret Invasion. Here is
Number
my
6.
guest that I said was going to appear.
Hi. Number 6, Jennifer Aniston could provide the voice of Nemesis. She earned 42 million. She earned more than Jason Statham.
Sure. I didn't even know she was in a movie last year.
She's
Wow, cool.
not, but she's probably all that Netflix crap she does with Adam Sandler.
Oh, that's true.
she's um I don't know. I don't know Nemesis as well to make that
I don't know
call.
who Nemesis is, to be honest with you.
Okay,
They keep pulling like really obscure
that's fine.
Marvel characters out for this.
Ryan Gosling at 5 is the most popular pick for Nova.
Uh, he's a little old for me
Okay.
because I would like Richard Rider to be uh like Jacob Elordi. I
Yeah.
think would be a great one for that because you need him like so. Richard Rider, the Nova character, has been in like every superhero group. He was introduced way back in the 70s. Originally, and then they reintroduced him as part of the New Warriors in the 90s.
Okay.
But he's always been a younger character, but like super overpowered.
Right.
Um, cool character, but they already kind of screwed that up with the introduction of the Nova Corps. So I don't know how they'll
These
play
so
that character going forward.
these look like they're all older anyway because of again, they're the highest grossing actors
Oh
of
no, I get it. I'm
2023,
just
but
saying, but
yeah.
like Ryan
Uh,
Gosling for Nova is like way too old of a casting because
yeah. Well, how about this? Number 4, Matt Damon could help redeem MODOK as the MCU's George Tarleton.
oh, I mean, a huge Matt Damon head on a tiny body. I mean, I would take
Great.
it.
I'm all in.
I would also have taken Matt Damon for Kingpin
Matt Damon is Kingpin.
against Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Now, I don't think
Oh
Matt
my god,
Damon's allowed to act unless it's Christopher Nolan anymore, according to him and his
probably not.
Number 3, Tom Cruise can revisit Iron Man as Arno Stark.
Oh, is the weird uncle? Yeah, the
Eh,
namesake for their child.
the name's wait, I
I'm
thought
kidding. It was Morgan.
Morgan. Okay.
But that was another random Stark that they introduced. Oh
Yeah,
no, Arno is from the future. That's right.
okay. Well, yeah, it's a way to squeeze him into the MCU.
Whatever. Do the
Uh,
original Guardians like they
number
were gonna do.
2, Margot Robbie
No.
can redeem Emma Frost's cinematic career as
Hmm.
as what's her name? Emma Frost. Yes.
Yeah. Ooh, I would take Ryan Gosling as Cyclops, by the way.
Okay. Oh my god. Number 1, you're
Number
gonna
one.
love this.
Am I?
This actor earned $73 million in 2023.
Zendaya.
Adam Sandler
Oh, so it
can
definitely
be
includes the Netflix stuff.
can become a personable Uncle Ben.
No, I would cast Adam Sandler as Molecule Man, who you need who you need for, all of this Secret War stuff coming up and the future Secret Wars. Because one of the principles there is there was a Molecule Man in every multiverse that is, like, the key to everything.
Okay.
And that was a character that played big in the Secret Wars, original Secret Wars storylines as well, 1 and 2. And he was in God, I wanna say he was in the first 50 or so issues of Fantastic Four. Like, he's one of the oldest characters in Marvel, but, like,
Yeah,
forgotten.
yeah. Okay.
Um, Neat character, but I think that would be fun for Adam Sandler to play a character like that.
But he's too busy just making movies for Netflix and just rolling around in money.
Yeah, just casting his buddies going, "Hey, let's do this."
Whatever, I wish I was his best friend.
Look, that basketball movie was great.
It was really, really shockingly good. I actually watched that because it was
Yeah,
local.
yeah.
The last thing I have before I go is, as I'm about to head off to watch Monday Night Raw, the WWE released a documentary on Peacock about the wrestler Bray Wyatt, who is passed away. His real name was Wyndham Rotundo. His father is Mike Rotundo, formerly a IRS and tag team champion from the very first WrestleMania, along with his uncle Barry Windham. Hence,
Mm,
there's the name. See,
got it.
um, I've watched an hour of it before our show, and it's absolutely amazing. Like they do just a great job on their documentaries in general.
Great, good to know. I'm sure people will watch that are into that sort of thing. So look, you got the last day. I don't know if you'll even be able to get this episode on Google Podcasts
Oh, boo!
because it goes away and becomes part of YouTube Music on April 2nd. So
Which is tomorrow,
we'll
by the
shed a
way.
tear for Google Podcasts. It's been good to me, and it's still my preferred platform. So I don't know where I'm going to find anything tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes.
Apple.
No, no. Um, So yeah, so wherever you do listen to your podcast, though, hey, drop us a rating, hit that like and subscribe button, tell a friend. As always, a pleasure finding the Geek Spot with you. Thanks for hanging out, and you can catch me at jackkidmusic.com. I'll be at Dockside in Ben Salem this weekend, and Frank will be at WrestleMania. So if you're out there,
Say hi. Look
yeah,
for
go
the.
find him.
You'll find me. It's not gonna be hard to find.
Just
Um,
follow him at a Gimzak on the Instagrams. I'm sure you will see a picture or
yep.
two of Frank's paraphernalia that he's bringing with him.
Which I'm keeping that a little bit under wraps.
That's why I left it where I did.
Keep an eye out. Sometime Thursday or later, we're gonna drop a video on the channel. We'll push it on Facebook of JJ and I's WrestleMania picks for Sunday. That's actually gonna happen.
Yep, it'll be right next to the Lego videos.
That's actually gonna happen. But thanks everybody.
See ya.